Recollection Road is proud to partner with Legacy Box. Watch until the end of this video to find out more about digitizing your family's irreplaceable memories, and then visit legacybox.com/recollection for an incredible 55% off. There are just some things that kids who grow up in the 1950s haven't thought about in years or even decades. This was a time when the average home cost around $7,000, and a new Volkswagen Beetle could be yours for just over $1,000. $1 would also go a pretty long way, getting you 2 movie tickets, nearly 4 gallons of gas, or even a ticket to your favorite Major League Baseball game. In the 1950s, all it took to be the popular kid on the block was to have a color TV in your living room. Everyone wanted to see what Bonanza might look like in color, so all the kids in the neighborhood wanted to come over and watch. Even though most shows were still only offered in black and white, just having the option to watch something in color was worth bragging about. So a brand spanking new television set would be the talk of the neighborhood. Whether you had a color TV or just a black and white one, you probably can remember that watching TV was primarily an evening privilege that was allowed only after homework and all the chores were taken care of. During the wee early hours of the morning, before you would run off to school, you might remember TV stations would begin their broadcast each morning following the national anthem. The same was true when the station signed off at night. The national anthem would play, and then either a test pattern or static would fill the screen while the station was off air. If you told a kid today to polish their shoes, they most likely would have no idea what you meant. But back in the 50s, leather saddle shoes were worn by pretty much all the kids. These were the days when shoes were cared for in a way that made them look new and kept them lasting longer. Keeping them polished was a regular practice, and this trickled down to kids too. It was fun to keep them so well shined you could practically see your reflection in them. Speaking of shoes, there was a time when you could visit a shoe store like Tom McCann or Kinney's Shoes and have shoes fit checked by X-ray. These X-ray machines were actually fluoroscopes, and they would show the bones of the feet in relation to the tip of the shoes you were wearing. But unbeknownst to the customer, and most likely the salesperson, a blast of radiation was emitted each time you returned to the machine with a new pair of shoes. This made the machine fun for young kids to try, despite the dangers of radiation exposure. Eventually, they were removed from shoe stores altogether. The fear of the disfiguring effects of smallpox led children of the 1950s to receive a vaccine that caused a dime-sized indent in their upper arm. The scars became badges of honor, as there was a huge push to eradicate the disease during this decade. It would take a bit longer to wipe out smallpox, but by the 1970s, the vaccine was no longer necessary, and the scars became an easy way to spot a child of the 50s. Anytime kids weren't in school, they were outside playing. Games like tag, hide and seek, skipping rope, Red Rover, and capture the flag were some of the more athletic activities, while marbles and jacks were played while kneeling on the ground. Some of the more dangerous but fun things to do outside were roller skating on those adjustable metal skates, riding bikes fast all over town, climbing tall trees, and building some pretty amazing forts and clubhouses. After a hot summer day of playing outside, there was nothing better than a stop at the local Dairy Queen. A 5-cent soft-serve cone dipped in chocolate hit the spot, and you certainly couldn't go wrong with a chocolate malt. Summertime made for busy lines at the walk-up window, so you had to be patient for the ice-cold payoff. Back in the 1950s, many classrooms had a little room just behind the teacher's desk, called a cloakroom. This was where all the kids would store their boots and coats before class started. This was also the room where kids that didn't know how to behave might get a paddling too. They would smirk and smile as they entered, but as they headed back to their desk, they would be teary-eyed and regretting their decisions. The food that was served during the 1950s was unique to say the least. Who remembers ambrosia salad with its mandarin oranges and pineapple tidbits? There were also banana candles that were vertical creations that were drizzled in mayonnaise and topped with cherries. A frosted ribbon loaf was a little more hearty, with layers of ham and egg salad sandwiches that were stacked and then frosted with cream cheese and herbs. The 1950s saw a resurgence of hat wear. This renaissance was caused by the boom of men heading to an office rather than putting on a uniform. Some men would sport the classic fedora, but a lot of other styles were now available. Especially during the summer months, you might find men barbecuing in the backyard wearing a Panama hat or even a straw hat. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and maybe even consider supporting the channel over on Patreon. Recollection Road and Legacy Box both believe it's important to preserve the past. If you're like me, there's a box of your family's treasured home movies and photos tucked away somewhere, and Legacy Box can help you preserve them digitally. The process is a simple and safe solution for converting your home movies and photos to thumb drive or to the cloud. Just send in your Legacy Box filled with old VHS and camcorder tapes, film reels, and pictures, and get back digital copies that can be easily enjoyed, shared, and kept organized. It's that easy. Legacy Box is trusted by over 1 million people, and it's all done right here in the USA. Get started preserving your past today. Go to legacybox.com/recollection to get an incredible 55% off. Buy today to take advantage of this exclusive offer and send in your memories when you're ready. Go to legacybox.com/recollection to save 55% while supplies last. If you enjoyed this video, consider watching this playlist, and then visit the channel to search the Recollection Road Library. As always, thank you so much for watching.